Hello, we are from Group 9T and today we will be presenting about our case study. So this is our group member. I am Rozafira and then we have Kozinru, Riyashini and Saidatul Huda.
My name is Rashini. My student ID is 261UT 261CG. So for my part now, I'll be presenting on the governance security policies and also the information security program management for XYZ as the MHD. So for first, governance improvements. XYZ should establish an information security committee. This committee should include senior management, IT department, human resources, and representatives from other important departments. So their role is to review security risks, discuss security incidents, approve security policies, and monitor the company's security performance. Next, the company should appoint an information security manager or CISO to manage the overall security program. This is important because the case shows that XYZ has unclear incidents response and weak security management. When there is one person responsible for managing information security, it is easier to coordinate security activities and make sure the action is taken properly. So the company should also clearly define security roles and responsibilities. So, for example, management should improve security improvements. The IT department should manage the technical controls. Department managers should make sure employees follow the policies, and employees should report the suspicious activities. So overall, stronger governance helps XYZ improve accountability and reduce confusion during the security incidents. So next, XYZ should also improve its information security policies. Security policies are important because they guide employees on how to use company systems safely and how to protect company information. The first policy is a password and authentication policy. Employees should use stronger passwords, avoid reusing passwords, and enable multi-factor authentication. This helps reduce the risk of unauthorized access, especially if the passwords were stolen. The second policy is an acceptable use policy. This policy explains how employees should use company computers, emails, internet access, and remote collaboration tools. It also reminds employees not to click suspicious links or install unauthorized software. So the third policy is an access control policy. XYZ should follow the principle of least privilege, meaning employees should only have access to the systems and information needed for their job. This helps protect customer databases and payment system. The fourth policy is a patch management policy. Since delayed software patching was one of the weaknesses in this case, XYZ should make sure important security updates are installed on time. So lastly, the company should also have a remote working policy. Since employees may use remote tools, they should use secure connections, approved devices, and avoid unsafe public Wi Fi when accessing company information. So, all these policies will help create consistent security practices and reduce the cybersecurity risk. Finally, information security should not be treated as something that is done only once. So, as cyber threats continue to change, XYZ should regularly review, monitor, and improve its security program. So, the company should conduct security reviews every 3 months. During these meetings, the management can review the recent incidents, discuss audit findings, check current security risks, and see whether existing security controls are working effectively. XYZ should also perform internal security audits. These audits help check whether the employees and departments are following the company's security policies. They can also help identify the weak passwords, delayed updates, or policy violations before they become a serious problem. Another important part is monitoring key performance. indicators, or also known as KPIs. So, for example, XYZ can monitor the number of phishing emails reported, the percentage of systems updated on time, average incident response time, and the number of employees who have completed the security awareness training. So, by reviewing these KPIs regularly, management can understand whether the security program is improving or whether more action is needed. So, to conclude my part, XYZ will need stronger governance, clear security policies, and continuous program management. So, these improvements will help the company protect customer data, respond faster to incidents, and support its long term business operations. Okay, thank you.
Now I'll be talking about risk assessment. So we identify a few key risks. First, the major risk is phishing and social engineering, which has a high likelihood and severe impact, leading to credential theft and data loss. Next, we identify weak password practices. This is very common among employees and poses a severe risk of account compromise and fraud. Another issue is delayed software patching. With moderate to high likelihood, attackers can exploit outdated system, resulting in malware infections or breaches. We also found risk of eavesdropping on communication, especially when staff use unsecure Wi-Fi or unencrypted channels. The company has already experienced a DOS attack, which caused 18 hours of downtime and lost sales. This shows of the severe impact of such disruption. And then we have the incident response process is unclear and backup are untested. This creates a high likelihood of slow recovery and prolonged outages during the future incidents. And for the risk assessment process, that one we have identified assets which is customer database, payment system, online sales platform, and communication tools, also backup system. Step 2, identify threats, phishing, weak password, delayed patching, eavesdropping, DOS, and unclear response. Step 3, assess likelihood impact, classify risk, high, moderate, or low. And then step 4, which is treatment plan to prevent and corrective measures. Now for the risk management. We start with preventive controls. The company must enforce a strong password policy combined with multi-factor authentication. Automated patch management and regular vulnerability scans will ensure systems stay updated. Next, corrective controls. A clear incident response plan with defined role and escalation path will help staff act quickly during a crisis. Regular backup testing and disaster recovery drills will ensure data can be restored reliably. And then monitoring and review are essential because continuous monitoring for suspicious activity, quarterly risk review, and updating controls as threats evolve will help the company stay proactive rather than reactive.
Good evening. My name is Ku Sing Ru, and I will be presenting the protection mechanism and access control for XYZ company. Let's begin with the identity and access management. This is about making sure only the right people can access the right system. At XYZ, we found that the employees were using the weak password and there was no extra layer of security to protect their account. The first thing we recommended is multi-factor authentication, MFA for short. It means that when you log in, you need more than just a password. You need a code from an authenticator app, also from your phone or a hardware token. So even if someone steals your password, they still cannot get in without that second factor. We want to require MFA for all user accounts, especially for people with higher access. Next is the password policy. We need to enforce stronger password. We recommended that at least for 12 character with a mix of uppercase, lowercase number, and special symbol. Password should also be changed every 90 days. We also need to prevent employees from using the old password. All of this will be enforced through the system, so it's not optional. For people with special access like system administrators, we need to be extra careful. This is called the privilege access management. We should limit who has the admin right, and even when they have it, they should only get that access when they need it for a short time. This is called just-in-time access. It means someone can only get extra power when they actually need to do a specific task. Finally, we need to do a regular access review. This means every 3 months we need to check who has access to what and make sure people can only access the things that their job needed. If someone changes roles or leave the company, their access should be updated or removed quickly. Now let's move to technical protection measure. These are tools and system we put in place to protect XYZ from various threats. First is endpoint protection. Endpoints are things like computer, laptop, and servers. We need to install advanced security software on all these devices. This software protects against virus and malware. It also watches for unusual activity so can alert us if something seems wrong. Next is patch management. Patches are updates that fix security problems in software. At XYZ, patch were being delayed, which left system open to attacks. We need to automate this process. Critical patch that fix serious problem must be applied within 48 hours. Other patch should be done within 30 days. We also need to keep track of all our systems so we know what need to be updated. For network security, we need several tools. A firewall acts as a gatekeeper, controlling what traffic comes in and out. An instruction prevention system watch for attacks and block them. We also need a web application firewall to protect our online store and customer-facing website. Network segmentation is also important. This means we divide the network into different zones. For example, payment system should be in a separate zone from the general office network. This way, if an attacker gets into one area, they cannot easily move to others area. Email security is also critical. Phishing email was a big problem for XYZ. We need filtering system that can detect and block phishing emails before they reach employees. This filter look at email content, links, and attachment to find suspicious message. Finally, encryption. Encryption scramble data so only authorized people can read it. We need to encrypt data when it is being sent, like when customer make purchase online. We also need the encryption data that is stored, such as customer database and backup. Now let me explain how we control and who get access to what. We use something called role-based access control RBAC. The idea is simple. We define different roles in the company and each role gets a certain level of access. System administrator gets the highest level of access. They need full system access to manage and maintain everything. However, even their access should be monitored and limited to what is necessary. IT support staff need high access to help users and fix problems, but they do not need the same level of access as a system administrator. The finance team need access to payment system and financial data, but their access should be limited to only what they need for their work. Customer service representative need access to customer data so they can help customer, but for most of them, this should be read-only access. They can view information but cannot change it. General employee get basic access. This include email, collaboration tool, and internal document. They do not need access to sensitive data unless their job requires it. We also follow two key principles. The first is least privilege, which means giving people the minimum access they need to do their job. The second is segmentation of duty, which means separating sensitive tasks so one person cannot do everything. For example, the same person should not be able to both process payment and approve refund. We also need to do regular reviews to make sure access is still appropriate, and when someone leave the company, their access must be removed immediately.
Hello and good day, sir. I am Huda. So now I will present my part, which is security education, training and awareness, SETA. So SETA is important part of information security because technology alone cannot fully protect an organization. So employees are often the first target of cyber attacks. So they need to have the knowledge and skills to recognize threats and respond appropriately. And then based on the case study, XYZ Extremely Hard, it experienced several human-related security issues, including phishing, weak password practice, poor employee awareness, and unclear incident reporting procedures. So, these incidents show that many employees were not sufficiently prepared to identify cyber threats or follow secure working practices. Then, By implementing a structured setup program, it will help improve employees' cybersecurity awareness, reduce human errors, and build a strong security culture throughout the organization. Next is I will explain the recommended setup program. So to address these issues, I recommend that XYZ implement a formal security education, training and awareness program for all employees. First, every new employee should attend a security awareness briefing during onboarding to understand the company's security policies and responsibilities. And then employees should also receive the phishing awareness training to help them recognize fake emails, suspicious links, and malicious attachments before interacting with them. And then the program should also include password and multi-factor authentication or MFA training. Employees should learn how to create strong passwords, avoid password reuse, and understand why MFA provides an extra layer of protection. So since the company also use remote collaboration tools, employees should be trained on secure remote working practices, including using VPNs, encrypted communication, and avoiding unsecure public Wi-Fi. Finally, all employees should receive incident reporting training so that they know exactly what to do and who to contact whenever they notice suspicious activities. So now for this part, which is phishing and password awareness. Among all the training topics, phishing awareness should receive the highest priority because phishing attacks have already affected the company. So employees should always verify the sender's email address before opening emails, avoiding clicking suspicious links or downloading unexpected attachments, and report suspicious emails immediately to the IT or security team. So besides regular awareness session, XYZ should also conduct quarterly phishing simulation exercises. So these simulated attacks allow employees to practice identifying phishing emails in a safe environment. Then employees who fail the simulation should receive additional guidance and refresher training instead of being punished. Another important focus is password security. Employees should create passwords with at least 12 characters and also avoid reusing password across systems, enable multi-factor authentication whenever available, and use password managers to securely store their credentials. So these practices significantly reduce the risk of unauthorized access, even if attackers manage to obtain an employee's password. Then, for training schedule and incident reporting, security awareness is not a one-time activity. Instead, it should be an ongoing process throughout the year. So, new employees should receive basic security training during onboarding. Every month, the company can send short security reminders or awareness emails to reinforce good cybersecurity practices. Then, every quarter, phishing simulation exercises should be conducted to assess employees' awareness levels, while refresher training should be provided every 6 months. In addition, an annual security awareness program should be organized to review company policies and introduce new cyber threats. Then, employees should also clearly understand the incident reporting process. They should immediately report suspicious emails, malware alerts, lost devices, unusual login activities, or any signs of data leakage. Early reporting allows the security team to respond quickly and minimize potential damage. Finally, the effectiveness of setup program should be measured using key performance indicators or KPIs. Examples include achieving at least 95% training completion rate, reducing phishing simulation failure rates over time, increasing the number of phishing emails reported by employees, improving incident reporting speed, and ensuring full compliance with the company's password policy. If these KPIs improve, it shows that employees are becoming more security aware and the training program is effective. In conclusion, Security education training and awareness is essential for XYZ because many of the company's security incidents are caused by human error. So, by providing regular training, phishing awareness programs, password education, and clear incident reporting procedures, employees become the first line of defense against cyber threats. Together with the technical security controls, SETA helps protect customer information, payment systems, and the overall business operation of XYZ. That's all for my part. Thank you.
Now, for the incident response and business continuity, for the IRP, we have to develop a formal IRP, which is detection, containment, eradication, recovery, and lesson learned. Assign clear roles like incidents commander, technical team, communication lead, and then create escalation path and severity levels such as low, medium, or high, and also establish communication protocols for staff, customers, and regulators. The benefits are faster coordinate response, reduced downtime. So this we have a summary table for incident response and business continuity. We have witness recommendation and benefit for unclear incident response, untested backups, incomplete continuity, poor employee awareness, and then lack of monitoring. So for overall conclusion, our evaluation shows that XYZ SDM BHD must strengthen its overall security posture to protect critical assets and maintain customer trust. The governance must be reinforced by establishing an information security committee and appointing a CISO to ensure accountability and proactive decision making. Also, they need to have a clear policies covering passwords, access control, patch management, acceptable use, and remote working will standardized practices across the company. Then, we have emphasized risk awareness and treatment, addressing phishing with password delay patching, those eavesdropping, and unclear incident response with both preventive and corrective measures. Fourth, we have employee empowerment through security education, training, and awareness program will reduce human error and improve incident reporting culture. Finally, the incident response and business continuity planning, including tested backups, redundancy, and structured recovery procedures, will ensure resilience during disruption.